In this short video, I'm going to discuss key aspects of academic writing, focusing on the body paragraphs, which should contain the core of your argument. Before we begin, a quick note about the term argument. This is not a personal argument and doesn't follow the same friendly, or depending on your style, ruthless rules. Academic arguments are how you state and support your opinion on the question posed. This requires that you discuss the readings you've been assigned, as well as those you've discovered on your own, in a way that supports your point of view and counters the points of view that you disagree with. Your essay should do this in an even-handed, open way that doesn't misrepresent or hide differing opinions. You even need to be critical of the ideas and arguments you agree with to demonstrate that you've calculated their flaws against their strengths and have come to an unbiased conclusion. There are three main sections in an academic essay: the introduction, body paragraphs, and conclusion. Start by writing your body paragraphs. The body paragraphs should comprise 70 to 80% of your essay. They will normally consist of 2 to 4 paragraphs where you engage with the questions posed by your lecturer and prove your argument. Each of these paragraphs should focus on a single key point of your argument. Before you start writing, you need to pack your resources. The first thing to add is your evidence. This should come from both the assigned articles you've read and other academic articles you've found. From these readings, you should be extracting quotations and summaries that support your point of view, as well as evidence that supports the arguments you'll be countering. The bulk of your evidence should be drawn from academic articles, not trade publications. When you're collecting these bits of evidence, be sure you're also keeping track of the information you need to correctly cite and reference the articles. Don't forget to include the key phrases and terms from the original writing prompts your lecturer assigned. Interpreting these phrases correctly is essential to writing an essay that answers the assignment questions. Finally, remember that you need to use academic language and style. This doesn't mean using obscure vocabulary or complicated sentence structures, but it does mean writing in a more formal rather than conversational style, using logic rather than emotion to make your points, and addressing counter-arguments objectively. As you're writing, it's easy to add a quote or summary from an article and move on as though it has proven your point. This common mistake not only costs you points in your marking, it also weakens your argument. No matter how well a piece of evidence proves your point, you need to take the time to unpack its importance by clearly stating why or how the evidence supports your ideas and how it answers the assignment's questions. In other words, you need to ensure that your reader interprets your evidence in the same way you have. It's important to structure your whole essay with this evidence-based approach in mind. But remember that all the evidence in a single paragraph should support the single argument you're making in that paragraph. Do not try to make multiple arguments in one paragraph. Finally, you need to use transitions and signposting language to help your reader follow the rhetorical path you've created to the hopefully logical conclusion you've reached. A standard academic paragraph will be structured in the following way. Start with the topic sentence that succinctly explains the main arguments of the paragraph. In the next couple of sentences, add details to clarify the points you're focusing on. Then provide a quote or summary that supports the argument you're making. Although you can include more than one quote or summary in a paragraph, it's best not to stack them all together, because the next step is your comment, where you explain why and how the evidence you've shared supports your point, in your own words. This unpacking can also be more than one sentence. Finally, link the point you've made in the paragraph to the overall argument of the essay. Each of your body paragraphs should follow this same structure, and each should focus on a single, unique part of your argument. If your paragraph has too many arguments in it, break it into 2 paragraphs and expand each point further. If 2 of your paragraphs have the same argument, consolidate the 2 paragraphs into 1 paragraph. I have to stress that the bulk of your paragraphs must be made up of your own analysis and interpretation of the evidence you're sharing. Paragraphs shouldn't be bullet-pointed lists or a string of quotes and summaries of someone else's ideas. Instead, your paragraphs should demonstrate what you've learned and your own critical thought process by comparing and contrasting different authors' ideas, principles, or innovations, and using logic to comment on the significance of different points in relation to the wider academic conversation. Now you've got your argument unpacked, it's time for the intro and conclusion. Students sometimes feel that these sections are throwaway bits, but remember, together they make up 20 to 30% of your essay, so they can significantly impact your final mark. Have a read through your body paragraphs again and highlight your 2 to 4 main points. You should find these in the topic sentences for each paragraph. These topic sentences and their ideas come together to inform your thesis statement, which should briefly summarize the main points of your argument. Set that thesis statement aside for a couple of minutes while you consider how to guide your reader into your essay. Your introduction should provide a broad discussion of what the essay is about, why you're exploring the topic, and how you'll organize your main points. It should conclude with that thesis statement you've just written that captures the main points you'll prove. Do not include quotes or summaries of other people's ideas in your introduction. Focus on your own ideas and understanding instead. Your conclusion moves in the opposite direction. It should begin by succinctly summarizing what you've argued and should go on to unify your individual paragraph arguments under a single theme, making your point clear and discussing why it's important. Your conclusion shouldn't be a restatement of your introduction, but it should link back to your thesis statement and the questions you were assigned, as well as the wider academic discussion. Never introduce a new idea in the conclusion. However, you can point toward other ideas that could be explored in the future. Just like with the intro, don't include quotes or summaries of other scholars' arguments in the conclusion. Thank you for watching. Please do contact the library team if you'd like more assistance or to set up a one-to-one.